Welcome to the Generational Wealth Podcast. What's the difference between the rich and the poor? In today's podcast, I'm going to 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't, so that you can learn how to create generational wealth for you and your family. All I need y'all to do is smash that like button. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I want to give a special shout out to everyone who's checked out my free webinar on the 3 keys to financial freedom. Guys, this is where I show you how to stop trading time for money. If you want to learn how to create multiple streams of income, you need to be on that free webinar, because in that webinar, I'm showing you guys how I paid off over $95,000 in student loans and then went on to invest in real estate, start my own business, and retire from corporate America. If you want to know how to stop making money through a fixed salary, you need to get on that webinar. I want to show you guys how wealthy people are able to create multiple streams of income that gives them unlimited earning potential. All you got to do is click the link in the comments below. If you're on, leave me a comment. Let me know that you're here. Show me some love. I'm going to give you a shout out. Tonight, we're talking about 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't. So I want y'all to let me know, what do you think are some of the things that rich people do that poor people don't? What do you think that sets them apart from everyone else? You know, I always tell you, the middle class is going away. It's only going to be the haves and the have-nots. So if you want to be on the side of the haves, what are the haves doing that the have-nots don't do? This is what we're going to talk about on today's podcast, y'all. Also, I want to give a special shout out to all of my sponsors. Now, I want to shout out my brother Kanan, who gave me a super thanks from the last show. Even if you don't watch the live stream while it's live, you can still donate. All you got to do is tap the thanks button directly below this video. And if you're watching when this is live, then hey, thank you for your support. All you got to do to donate is tap the dollar icon directly below the comment box. Your sponsorships go a very long way to helping me do more shows. As you know, on every episode, I give you guys nothing but top tier content. Okay, so please donate, and whoever makes the highest donation for today's podcast will be the official sponsor of the event. Enough talking, let's get into it, y'all. 10 things that rich people do. What are the 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't? Y'all got any guesses? Ariel says she's ready for the show. The first thing that rich people do is they have a long-term financial plan. Rich people have a plan. If you want to be successful in life, you've got to have a plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Rich people tend to have long-term financial plans, which allows them to save, invest, and build wealth over time. Poor people don't have long-term plans with their money because they're always trying to solve the problems of the day. A lot of times when you're coming up from the mud, you can't think 5 years down the line. You're just trying to survive. What you've got to do if you want to build wealth is you have to create a financial roadmap. You've got to think 5 to 10 years down the line. Now, guys, what are the benefits of having a long-term plan? Why do rich people do this when poor people don't? Rich people have a long-term financial plan because it gives them direction and focus. A roadmap allows you to identify what your goals are, and it lays out a plan for you to accomplish them. If you don't have financial goals, how are you going to build your legacy? This makes sure that you stay focused on the most important things that you need to do. So say that you need to get out of debt. That needs to be a part of your long-term plan. Let's say that you want to start investing. That needs to be a part of your roadmap. When you outline everything that's in your long term plans, it lets you know what you need to be doing from year to year. Also, having a long term financial plan maximizes your wealth. If you're looking to create generational wealth, a long term plan is a must because a long term financial plan helps you identify and take advantage of wealth building opportunities, whether that means you're investing in stocks, real estate, or other assets that have the potential for long term growth. You got to map that out. Wealthy people understand how they're going to make money. They understand what industry they're going to invest. They don't just say, "Hey, I want to create generational wealth. I don't know anything else, but I just know that I want to create generational wealth." No, that's not how it goes. They get focused on where they're going to make their mark. So some of you might create generational wealth through real estate. Some of you guys might create generational wealth through the stock market. Some of you guys may create generational wealth by owning your own business. Some of you guys might have an entire portfolio. No matter how you dice it, this is not going to happen by magic. If you're going to create generational wealth, you've got to have a plan. So I want you guys to start thinking about what your long term plan is going to look like. What are the ways that you want to create your fortune to pass down for your future generations? And how is this going to maximize your long term potential? Another thing so important about having a long term plan is that it reduces your financial stress. Y'all, a lot of people are stressed out right now. You know why? Because they don't know what's going on with their money. They don't know what's happening from one day to the next. Over 70% of Americans right now are living paycheck to paycheck. Most people are living for the moment. So if you're constantly trying to survive from one minute to the next, you're always going to be under stress. By you having a long term financial plan, it gives you a lot of clarity and certainty about what your financial future will look like. If you know your 5 to 10 year plan, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. If you're feeling blind about your money, then obviously you're going to be stressed the heck out. So make sure that you set up this long term plan so you can feel in control of your money. Now, the second thing that rich people do is they invest their money. Rich people invest their money into long term assets. When I'm saying assets, I'm talking about things that make you money, guys. Things that when you invest into it, it's putting money into your pocket. So let me give you guys an example. As some of you guys know, I own over $1 million worth of real estate here in the state of Texas. And one of the reasons why I own real estate is because it allows me to make passive income. Every month, I'm able to capitalize on rent checks from my tenants. Rich people take their money and they put it into investments, things that are putting dollars in their pocket so they don't have to work. They put it in stocks, they put it in real estate, they put it in ventures that gives them high returns. Poor people, on the other hand, struggle to make enough money to be able to save and invest. That's the reason why so many of us get left out. Now, guys, I want y'all to understand something. Rich and poor is a mindset. If you're going to create generational wealth, you have to think like a wealthy person before you are one. Wealthy people are long term thinkers. The reason why wealthy people invest their money is because when you don't invest, it leads to poverty. Reason one: if you don't invest, inflation is going to kill your bank account. Inflation is going to destroy your earning potential. I'm always telling you guys, the inflation rate right now is through the roof. You've seen it yourself. Gas is expensive. The price of buying cars is expensive. You go to the grocery store and it's extremely expensive. Inflation is going to kill your savings. The only way that you're going to grow your buying power is if you're investing your money. If you're keeping all of your money in a checking and savings account, it is not growing at the rate of inflation. Inflation means the dollar is getting weaker over time. The value of your dollars are shrinking. The only thing that can outpace inflation is investments. If you're putting your money into a market and you're getting a return on your money at a higher rate than inflation is making you lose money. I want y'all to realize something. There's so many articles that point out how just to maintain the same quality of living as you had last year, you needed to be making thousands more. So I don't want y'all to think as long as you make some fixed income, then you're always going to have the same buying power. The cost of living is going to go up year after year. Everything is getting more expensive. You cannot afford not to invest. The rich get richer because they invest their money into assets that appreciate in value. The poor get poorer because the dollar is getting weaker. So if you're not taking that dollar and putting it into something that's growing your money, you're always going to be at a loss. The next reason why not investing leads to poverty is because you have missed opportunities for growth. Investing allows you to grow your money over time. It helps you to reach your financial goals. This is what it's all about, guys. It's about creating generational wealth. So if you don't invest, you're going to miss out on opportunities for growth and you're going to find it hard to get ahead. The next reason why not investing can lead to poverty is because it gives you limited income streams. Remember, the average millionaire has 7 different streams of income, which means that not investing can limit how many streams you have. If you only make money through your 9 to 5 job, once unemployment hits, you're going to be an easy target. But imagine that you had money that was coming through your investments. You're making money on the side. This is going to give your family a lot more security. Rich people spend their money on assets. They invest into long term assets that appreciate in value. When I'm talking assets, I'm talking real estate. I'm talking stocks. I'm talking about things that have a track record of growing over time. Poor people spend money on liabilities, things that decrease in value, like cars and electronics. Guys, I'm generalizing on this show. Why? Because I want you to notice the patterns. Rich people put their money into things that make more money. Poor people put their money towards things that lose money over time. If y'all saw, I did a show recently about why you shouldn't buy a car in 2023. I showed you why you should not buy a brand new car because the average car is almost $50,000. The average new car means that you're paying almost $800 a month. Can you really afford that if you're trying to create generational wealth? A car is not an asset, it's a liability. When you drive the car, it's not putting any money into your account, it's taking money out of your account. You have to spend money on gas, car repairs, maintenance. It's something that goes down in value. The minute that you buy a car and you take it off the lot, it's already depreciated by 15%. So, guys, with that same amount of money that you could put towards a brand new whip, you could have put it into real estate or stocks that would have grown your money over time. When you talk about the stock market, so many Americans have become millionaires through the stock market. When you talk about real estate, so many Americans have become millionaires through real estate. You don't hear about people becoming millionaires by buying a car. When's the last time that y'all heard about that? When's the last time y'all seen a YouTube video? Hey, you know how many people are becoming wealthy in this modern day? They're going out and they're buying cars. That's impossible because most cars don't go up in value, it only goes down. But by you spending your money on long term assets, you'll grow your wealth and you'll have long term financial security. See, this is one of the things that separates rich people from poor people. Rich people build a strong enough foundation so that they can have long term success. A lot of poor people only think for the moment, instant gratification. Another reason why wealthy people spend money on assets is because they want to focus on creating income. They want to make more money. So when you invest into an asset like real estate, you can buy a rental property and that's going to generate income. Every month, I'm making money from my tenants. Or you can get a dividend paying stock. I told you guys how to do that in my video about 10 proven ways to create passive income. You could have a dividend paying stock that's giving you recurring passive income over time. This can help you get financial freedom. Okay. So if you guys are just now joining, I want you to smash that like button. If you're getting a lot of value from this content, please make sure that you donate. Your donations go a very long way towards helping to grow the channel. We're talking about 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't, so that you can study the patterns of success. Success leaves clues, guys. And you don't have to be rich to do what rich people do. You want to make sure that as much as you can invest in assets and not liabilities. One of the reasons why wealthy people spend their money on assets is because they get tax benefits. Why is tax benefits important, guys? Do you want to know? The reason why tax benefits are so important is because the average person will spend half of their money towards taxes over their lifetime. The average person, for every dollar they make, half of it will go to the IRS. I want you to think about your weekly paycheck. Y'all know whenever you get paid on the 1st and the 15th, you look at that pay stub and you notice what? Social Security, this much. Medicare, this much. All of your money is being taxed before it ever goes into your wallet. Wealthy people buy assets that reduces their tax burden because not all money is the same. If you want to know why two-thirds of all millionaires are business owners, one of the reasons is because owning a business lowers taxes. 9 to 5 employees are the most taxed people in the United States. This is why you got to realize not all money is the same. So if you want to create generational wealth, you've got to raise your assets. You got to invest in some good stuff, guys. Okay. Buy you some property, buy you some stocks, study the industry before you get into it. Don't just be out here throwing money in different places. Make sure that you know what you're doing. Find an asset that will offer tax benefits so that it saves you money over the long run. Another reason why rich people invest in assets is because it gives them diversification. Diversification means you don't have all of your eggs in one basket. When you diversify, you put your money into different kinds of accounts and investments. So that way, it gives you more protection from risk. If you guys watched my show on Monday, I showed you how the real estate market is about to collapse. I showed you on Monday how the real estate market is losing a lot of value in a short amount of time. If all of your money is locked up in real estate, that means you're going to be losing a lot of money. But if you have money in stocks, crypto, business, different forms of wealth creation, then that means that just because the stock market or the real estate market takes a hit, you don't lose all of your wealth. If you want to create generational wealth, you have to diversify your portfolio. This is something that you've got to do. So I want you to think about what are some of the things that you want to invest into in the next 5, 10, 15 years? What are some of the things that you want to invest into over the next 12 months? Maybe this is the year that you decide to start investing. What are the kinds of investments that you want to start? Another thing that you want to think about when you're investing and why rich people invest is because of future resale value. See, when rich people invest in assets like artwork or collectibles, they're thinking that it can increase in value over time. Have you guys ever heard about people who have bought, these trading cards of these popular athletes like Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan? The reason why people will buy cards of all of these athletes is because they know that that collectible item can be worth more over time. By you investing in these assets now, when the property value is down, that means you can sell it for a profit at a later time. This is the reason why wealthy people are buying artwork. They're trying to buy all kinds of things. Generational wealth is about ownership, guys. You got to own something. If you don't own anything, it's hard to build wealth. The people that have success in this life are the people that have ownership. If you don't own anything, you're always going to be a slave. You're always going to be dependent on somebody else for you to get by. But the more that you own, the more self sufficient you will be. Ariel says, I'm nervous to find out the things that poor people do that I do. Oh, yes, we're going to talk about it. Hey, good to see you on, Sis Hanaya. Make sure that y'all smash that like button. Tonight, we're talking about 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't. I'm showing you guys the secrets to success so that way you can make the right moves. The third thing that rich people do is they network with other successful people. Your network is your net worth. Rich people surround themselves with other successful people. Poor people don't put as much focus on guarding their circle. Now, guys, I'm not telling you all about something that I didn't read out of a book. I'm telling you what I know. When I was growing up, I was always taught Make sure that when you make it big, you take everybody from the hood with you, whether they selling drugs, whether they out here killing and stealing. Make sure you take the whole hood with you when you win. And that's hard, not because you want to leave people behind or sell out, is because of the habits that have these people in a bad place. If you're always around people that are lazy and unproductive, it's going to be hard for you to have a solid work ethic. If you're always around people that are spending money, it's going to be hard for you to build wealth. You want to surround yourself around other go getters that are trying to elevate in life like you. You got to understand, rich people get richer because they tap into a network that allows them to level up. So I want you to think right now about your circle. Are the people in your circle helping you level up, or are they pulling you down? Maybe you're trying to focus on content on how to be able to build generational wealth. Are the people in your circle, or are they laughing at you because you're trying to do better with your life? Oh, ha 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 ha. Look at you. You think by watching some video about how to get wealthy, you're going to be wealthy too? You need to be sitting up here watching Basketball Wives with me. You got to guard your circle. The Your success is the average of the top 5 people that you spend your time with. So tell me who you associate with, and I'll tell you who you are. A lot of people think that they're going to be successful no matter who they have in their circle. But if you have the wrong person in your circle, even if it's just one person, they're going to pull you down. These toxic relationships, people that don't have your best interests at heart, people that aren't even happy to see you win, they're envious. These people are going to pull you down. Wealthy people know how to master their network. They keep people in their circle that are making things happen themselves. Now, guys, let me tell you a story about this in my personal life. I've come to find that it's very important for me to surround myself around people who are driven, who have goals, who are already accomplishing something in life. The reason why I say this is because if I hang out with people who don't have anything going, they're going to resent my success when I get it. If I end up having a nice house, you know what they're going to do? They're going to resent me for having a nice house. They wouldn't care if they had a nice house themselves. They would resent me if I had a nice car because they don't have a nice car. And so I'm not saying that every single person that you know got to be balling out of control, but you got to make sure that they're not jealous. You got to make sure that they're more focused on their life than trying to sabotage yours. You got to make sure that they are driven people because their habits are going to rub off on you. Have you ever been in a restaurant and you've tried to be on a diet, but everybody else that you went out with isn't and they're eating whatever? Do you ever notice that you feel a little guilty about wanting to have self control and discipline? Whenever you're out with them, you get tempted to do the things that they're doing because they're in your space. So you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who are not only out here trying to get it like you are, but are further ahead. So that way they can help to level up your goals. It's nothing wrong with having a good network, guys. And it's nothing wrong with being able to give back to others so they can be helped to level up too. Okay. So, one of the things that wealthy people tend to do is they attend private events. Now, we all know wealthy people got connections, they leverage their personal network. Wealthy people use their phones differently than poor people do. A lot of times, when poor people are tapping into this, it's for entertainment and gossip. Rich people use this to set up business deals, to attend new meetings, to make different deals come through. They use their phone to network, not for their own consumption. Wealthy people attend private events, whether it's dinners or other kinds of networking opportunities that allows them to be in front of other top tier people. You also want to think about how you can join these different organizations to be around like-minded people to help you grow. I know a lot of y'all know that rich people have things like golf clubs, yacht clubs, all these different things. The reason why they have these clubs is because they want to surround themselves with other people that are doing it. Guys, when I think about this, I think about one of my favorite verses in the Bible. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He will surround himself with kings, not mean men. Most people don't think about how much they're losing just by having the wrong people in their space. People that are diligent, they want to be around other diligent people. That's the reason why they're joining these clubs. That's the reason why they're going to the events. That's why they're mixing and mingling amongst high performers. But if you're not building your network around other high performers, then how are you going to be a high performer yourself? A lot of wealthy people know how to connect to different people that have talents. I know how to connect someone who's good at planning events with someone else that might be a potential investor. When you know how to connect people, that makes you a person of value. Another thing that rich people do that's different from poor people is that they take calculated risks. Now, I'm not talking about any risk, I'm talking about calculated risk. Let me give you an example of a calculated risk. Rich people will take calculated risk to put enough money in the stock market to make a real difference. A lot of poor people gamble their money away. There's so many studies that shows you have about the same chance of winning the lotto not playing the lotto than you do playing the lotto. But every week folks will scratch the numbers, do the Powerball, put their money into all of these things that has nothing to do with a real investment. You're just wishing on a star. You cannot get by just blindly throwing money in places. You've got to know how to invest. This is why wealthy people take calculated risks. They know that if they're going to get ahead, scared money don't make money. But they're not going to take all of their money and put it into a slot machine. They're going to take their money and put it into assets that have a good chance of growing over time. One of the reasons why poor people can't do this is because they can't afford the risk. The average person cannot afford to put $1,000 into a stock because they need that money to pay their rent. You have to make enough money to be able to take some level of risk. That's the reason why I'm always showing you guys how to set up different streams of income. They take calculated risk by investing in stocks. Wealthy people take calculated risk by investing into certain businesses that they think are going to have a solid track record where they do their research about a company. before they place their investments. Some of you guys know I own stocks in Tesla, Nvidia. I own different shares of major companies. The reason why I own shares in these major companies is because I've studied these companies, I've looked at their past performance, and I can see where the market is going. I'm willing to take calculated risks in order to build wealth for my family. Now, the next big calculated risk is starting a business. I always tell y'all, if y'all are serious about creating generational wealth, you've got to start a business. Rich people take calculated risk by starting a business because there's such a great chance of failure. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years. 80% of all businesses will fail within the first 5 years of existence. But the reason why the rich still start businesses is because they know that businesses is the number one way to create income. It's the number one way to maximize your wealth. If you think that you're going to make a lot of money just by investing in the stock market, you got another thing coming. Because how are you going to have your money in the stock market and you don't even have enough money to put into it? I got to give a shout out to my sister Tamar. I had my phone off of silent right now, so I was able to hear that Cash App that just came in. Thank you so much, Sister Tamar, for that $10 Cash App. You said you are appreciated. I appreciate you, my sister. For those of you that are on, please make sure you smash that like button. Tonight, we're talking about 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't. If you follow these steps, this is going to help you guys increase your security, increase your wealth, increase your financial freedom. If you want financial freedom, you've got to start a business. This is the vehicle that allows you to control your money and control your time. If you're only building wealth through a 9 to 5 job, you can only get but so far because there's a cap on your wages and you don't control your own hours. When you start a business, it gives you control of all of these things, but you've got to know how to set up a solid plan. Also, you want to think about investing into real estate. This is how wealthy people play this game. They take calculated risks by investing into real estate. You know how many people have made money through real estate, guys. I don't even need to talk about that right now. A lot of rich people take calculated risks by investing in alternative assets. What do I mean when I say alternative assets? I'm talking about art. I'm talking about wine. I'm talking about crypto. I'm talking about other collectibles. Rich people put their money in different places because it can give them a lot more upside with their money. The fifth thing that rich people do is use credit wisely. If you want to know how to manage money like the rich, use credit wisely. Now, see, this is something that you could be doing right now. You don't have to wait until you got enough money to buy artwork. You don't have to wait until you got enough money to buy a duplex. Use credit wisely. Rich people use credit to their advantage. Poor people rely on credit for everyday expenses and go into debt. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. Here are all of the ways that rich people use credit wisely. Number one, they earn rewards and cash back. I have the best credit card on the market for cash back rewards. When my wife goes to the grocery store, she gets 6% back on all of her spendings. I want you to think about how that helps rich people save money. If we know that groceries is your largest expense outside of your rent, you might want to have cash back on that spending. I get 6% back with groceries, 3% back at the gas station. You want to look for cash back rewards. Now, the way that I use my credit card, guys, is I never allow myself to put more money into that credit card balance than what I can afford to pay in full every month. I pay my credit card off almost every single day. If I go to the grocery store, as soon as I'm done at the grocery store, I'm going to go on the American Express website and I'm going to pay that off. I'm not going to allow any interest to accumulate on the money. I'm going to pay it off as soon as I can. Rich people use credit cards to make money. A lot of times you'll see certain wealthy people, they'll go on vacations for free because they've got points to their credit cards that allows them to travel with airfare. It allows them to stay at hotels for free. I've had friends that have gone on vacations for free because of all the points that they racked up. Use your credit wisely. Another way that rich people use credit wisely is by building their credit history. Now, guys, if you're not good at a credit card, don't worry about using a credit card at all. A credit card is like a loaded gun. It can either save you or it can kill you. It depends on the person that's using it. You need to make sure that you have discipline before you use a credit card because it can put you in a lot of debt. So, what rich people do to use credit is they build their credit history, which allows them to have higher credit limits. Imagine that you want to invest in real estate, guys, but your credit history is so bad that you can't borrow any money. If you want to borrow money to invest in real estate, you're going to need a couple $100,000. Real talk. The average home right now is almost $400,000. Make sure that you have strong enough credit so that you could go to a bank to get that kind of money. Rich people don't use credit cards to go into debt. They use credit cards to build their credit history, which will give them better cards with better terms that allows them to lower their interest rates in the future. By them maintaining a good credit score, which allows them to pay their bills on time, they can qualify for better cards that gives them higher limits. That's why rich people have something known as a black card. If you have the American Express black card, it gives you unlimited spending. Rich people, they're not using the unlimited spending to go out here and buy a Ferrari. They're using the unlimited spending to buy real estate, to buy stocks, to buy businesses, to have ownership. Rich people use other people's money. So oftentimes, rich people will use credit for investments. I know people that will use credit or loans to invest in other assets that have the potential for high returns. Let me break this down. When I bought my first real estate investment property in North Austin, I took out a mortgage. The only reason why I was willing to go into debt is because I knew that I was going to make more money from the investment than I was ever going to have to spend. So if I needed to borrow $100,000 to make $500,000, that's using credit wisely. But I know some people right now that might take out a small loan and they'll put it into different investments, and the return on the investment comes at a higher percentage than the interest on the loan. You've got to study how to do this. This is why rich people use credit wisely. They don't use their own money. And see, this is the reason why, guys, I've been offering that free 1 hour call to show you how rich people use insurance to build their fortune. A lot of y'all don't realize insurance is one of the key powerful ways to build wealth and leave generational wealth for years to come. If you want to learn more about this, click the link in the comments below. When you look at the Rockefeller family, they're able to preserve a lot of their wealth through insurance. The reason why these wealthy families will use insurance is because it provides them with better protection than the stock market or the real estate market. You got to know how the game is played. You got to know how to use other people's money in order to build wealth, not foolishly, using it wisely. The sixth thing that rich people do is that they are always learning. They're constantly educating themselves. See, when you watch podcasts like this, the Generational Wealth podcast, you're already doing what rich people do. Rich people are constantly investing in their knowledge so they can learn how to get to the next level. Poor people, they don't value the importance of long term education. Rich people have a long term mindset, they are lifelong learners. So let's talk about this, guys. Let me help break down some of the key differences between rich people and poor people when it comes to continuous learning. Rich people have a growth mindset. This means that they're always looking to learn and they're always looking to take risk. Poor people believe that they're already stuck where they're at. So I'm sure you've heard people say, well, this is just how I am. That's a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is willing to change. You might say, I'm not good at math. If you're not willing to learn how to get better at math, you have a fixed mindset. So, what happens whenever you have a fixed mindset and you're not dedicated to lifelong learning? The reason why fixed mindset people stay poor is because it makes their career stagnant. When they don't continue their education becomes outdated. If you're going off of everything that you learned in college from 30 years ago, you're getting left behind. Rich people know how to stay ahead of the curve. They're always looking for what is the newest technology? What is the cutting edge research? What are the biggest things happening in the industry? What are the trends? So that way you can develop skills that are current. If you don't educate yourself continually, your skills will become a thing of the past. That's why so many people are losing their jobs to artificial intelligence. That's the reason why so many people are out of work because the skills that might have benefited them 5 years ago is no longer valuable now. They've got somebody else or some machine that can get it better, faster, and it's more current, it's more up to date. The same way that you know how to update your phone with the latest software, that's how you need to be updating your brain. You need to be constantly doing a update on your operating system so that way you can stay on top of the best opportunities. You cannot grow in your career path if you're stuck on outdated info. It's this alone will lower your earning potential. Another thing that you need is the ability to change. You got to be adaptable, guys. Rich people are very adaptable. I want you to notice all of the businesses that went under because they did not embrace the internet. Think about how many brick and mortar companies went bankrupt all because they wouldn't change. They stayed stuck on the things that they were doing and they did not grow, they did not elevate. And that's why I'm telling y'all, this step that I'm showing you right now, this don't got nothing to do with money. You can educate yourself every day online for free to learn more than 95% of people on the planet. Guys, if you just studied some of the top books in your industry, you would be more knowledgeable than the top 95% of people in the world. But you got to be willing to make that investment in yourself. A lot of times we've been programmed as soon as you get out for work, chill, party, relax. Scroll through Facebook, watch TV for 4 hours in a day, and then you wonder why you don't grow. Rich people are constantly learning. I remember people used to look at me like I was crazy whenever they would ride in a car with me and I was listening to an audiobook. I wouldn't always be in the car bumping hip hop, doing what everybody else is doing, because I know that for the average person throughout their commute, if you add up how much time people spend commuting back and forth over the course of 12 months, if they spent that time learning through audio programs, they would get enough education as that of a PhD doctorate. And that's why we don't value our time. We don't realize how effective our time is when we put it in the right place. Rich people know this. This is why they're constantly learning. They're constantly reading books. They're constantly finding mentors. They're constantly investing into programs that shows them how to get next level skills. Now, another very obvious reason why continuous learning is so important is because if you're not constantly learning, you have lower financial IQ. If you don't learn how to get ahead with money, how are you ever going to make more money? How are you going to manage your money effectively? If you don't learn how to invest in real estate, how are you ever going to invest in real estate? If you don't learn how to invest in the stock market, you're not going to invest in the stock market. Didn't none of us know this coming out of the womb? We wasn't born with a silver spoon in our mouth. We had to take the time to sit our behinds down and learn how to do this. So, guys, you talk about cryptocurrency, forex trading, all these different new ways to make money online. You won't learn none of it with a fixed mindset. You're going to get left behind. This is why rich people are constantly investing in the latest and greatest learning. This is why the rich get richer and the poor get poor. I always tell y'all, in your budget, have a category for personal development. Have a category on your budget for learning budget. Make it your brain budget. Don't just spend money on clothes. Put money towards learning something every single month. And I promise you, over time, you're going to see a lot of success. Shout out to my brother, Rodney Lawrence. He said, money is a sport to them and they play to win. Absolutely. Y'all got to realize, man, That's how society works. Everybody wants to live comfortably just like you. But some people are willing to sacrifice more. That's why they're always learning. Okay. So if y'all are on, please make sure that you smash that like button. Tonight, we're talking about 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't. If you're getting a lot of value from this content, make sure that y'all donate and support the channel. I take my time to put all of this together for y'all so that way you can know how to get started on your path of creating generational wealth today. Okay. If y'all want to donate through the Cash App, $Gen Wealth Podcast. We just talked about why you must be a lifelong learner. If you're not a lifelong learner, that can lead to poverty because you're going to have a hard time keeping up with the demands of the marketplace. The market changes. Therefore, you got to know how to stay up to date so you can manage your money effectively. Now, guys, the seventh thing that rich people do is they focus on income generating activities. Not all activities are the same. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Some of us use it differently. Rich people focus on activities that make money, whether it's starting a business or investing in stocks. But a lot of poor people have been programmed to focus on their day-to-day expenses. I want y'all to hear me, and I want y'all to hear me good. If you don't take nothing else away from today's podcast, you have to play financial offense. I don't care how many coupons you're cutting to save money. You have to play financial offense if you want to create generational wealth. You are not going to get ahead in this life if you are constantly skimping to get by. You have to focus on financial offense. When I say financial offense, you have to put your time and your skills towards monetization. When y'all see this book right here, this is me taking my knowledge and putting it into a book that will sell around the clock without me working. Poor people have been programmed. The only way that you're going to make money is if you work from sun up to sundown at your job. But if I'm studying how rich people make money, I know that they create products. You want to know how Amazon makes billions of dollars? They sell products. They don't focus on their 9 to 5. Guys, I'm not saying this as a knock on the 9 to 5. This is how we all got started. What I'm saying is, if you want to grow, you got to take the money that you're getting from that 9 to 5 and you got to invest that in your 5 to 9. When I was working in corporate America, I would be working on my business before and after I went to the job. I ain't gonna lie to y'all neither. I was working on my business when I was at the job. Whenever the boss wasn't looking, whenever I was on my lunch, every moment you need to be taking the right opportunities to elevate your life, whether that's spiritually, physically, financially. You are the only person that wakes up every single day wanting to improve your life. Did y'all hear what I just said? You are the only person that wakes up every day with intention to improve your life. Nobody else is going to do this for you but you. So if you don't do it, nobody else will. Focus on income generating activities, guys. Rich people focus on making more money. That's the reason why they don't worry about inflation. They know that they're going to have assets that will out earn it. Poor people will suffer during inflation because we've been told, save your money, don't spend any of it. Life is so hard, it's scarce. A penny saved is a penny earned. We always are taught to keep our expenses bare minimum, but we're never taught, hey, if all you're making now is $2,000, I don't care how many coupons you cut, you won't survive. You have to play financial offense. That's the most important thing that you can do on the road to creating generational wealth. The eighth thing that rich people do is they have a diverse income stream. You heard me talk a little about diversification before. Rich people have multiple streams of income. The average millionaire has seven different streams of income, guys, and that's for a reason. The reason is because they know that life is hard. That's why they have financial security. They know that if you only have a single source of income, you don't have a lot of stability. Anytime there's a market crash, you're going to be the first one at the unemployment line. You want to make sure if there's going to be a market crash, you have security. If there's going to be a recession, you have security. No matter what happens in the markets, you have enough income streams to protect you from a loss. If things go south in the real estate market, I've got money in the stock market. If things go south in the stock market, I've got money in crypto. If things go south in the stock, crypto, real estate market, I'm still making money from my own business. You've got to have multiple streams of income so that you can protect your house. This is what this is about, guys. This is not about you flaunting and flexing and, ooh, look at me. This is about you making sure that you can survive and thrive over the rest of your life and then be able to have something nice to leave to your family so that way they don't have the same difficult start in life like you did growing up. That's the goal. Have a diverse income stream. Another reason why rich people have multiple streams of income is because it allows them to get out of debt faster. See, if you only have one stream of income, that's the slowest way for you to get out of debt and save money. By you having multiple streams of income, it allows you with the potential to pay off your debt faster and increase your savings. This is going to help you achieve your long term financial goals quickly. Another reason why rich people got multiple streams of income is because of passive income. This is what everybody wants. So when I'm making money through my tenants, I'm getting passive income. If I'm making money from my investments, I'm getting dividends from the bank. Every month, I'm showing my wife rental income this much, investment money from the bank this much. Even if we did not do any work for the month, we would have thousands of dollars coming in. And I thank the Most High for that. But it didn't start that way for me, guys. It takes a lot of work. And I would have killed to be able to get all of this the way that I'm laying it out. Back when I first got started, I had to go to so many different conferences, find so many different mentors just to be able to outline it how I'm giving it to you all today. So I just want y'all to know in everything that I'm sharing with you guys, this is what I actually did. This is how I went from paying off my $95,000 in student loans after graduating from Baylor University This is how I ended up owning over $1 million in real estate. This is how I became a best-selling author, is by following these steps on a consistent basis, and the compound effect is going to equal success. Some of you guys know how powerful compound interest is in the stock market, but you don't know how powerful the compound interest is of your own labors. If you just take one of these steps that rich people do and you apply it to your life every day, imagine where you're going to be in the next 12 months. Imagine where you're going to be in the next 3 to 6 years. Imagine where you're going to be in the next decade. The reason why rich people have multiple income streams is so it gives them more security from a crash. It allows them to get out of debt and increase their savings much faster, and it gives them passive income. The goal is to make money while you sleep. The best kind of money that I like is whenever I get something hitting my phone. Oh, look at that. This came in from the business. I wasn't even working on the business at the time, but I'm making money based upon work that I might have done 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Guys, if I have programs, I'm making money off of something that I put together maybe 3 years ago. I worked really hard to put the program together to give people a lot of value. It helps them enhance their life. But I'm telling you, the reason why rich people work like this is because you set it and you forget it. Poor people have been taught make money by having to clock in at the office every single day. Jeff Bezos don't got to clock in nowhere because he's built a machine that does the working for him. This is the secret to all wealth. You have to create systems that does the working for you. And then you get paid off of your value and not your time. The ninth thing that rich people do that separates them from poor people is they spend money on experiences, not liabilities. So when you think about experiences, guys, we could be talking about something as simple as a vacation. A lot of poor people, they only put money on their basic necessities because they're just trying to get by. The reason why experiences are so important is because your memories last you for a lifetime. Now, guys, I know some of y'all are thinking, oh, well, if you had money right now, you would buy a nice car. You don't get the same satisfaction from a car as you do lifelong memories. Some of the best memories that I can think about right now is times where I went on vacation with my wife. We might have went on a 10-day cruise. We had room service, amazing food, spa treatment. The list goes on. You work hard so that way you can enjoy great memories in life, even if you're helping other people. It don't always gotta be for you. Some of the best memories that I've had in my life is when God blessed me to be a blessing to somebody else, whether it was helping them get out of debt, where it was helping them through hard times. Rich people spend money on experiences. That's a rich life. Okay. The riches is not in the money, is through the peace of mind and the fulfillment that you get when you're able to help somebody else. When you do great things and it creates great memories, this will last you for years to come. Another reason why rich people, I'm giving out the gems, y'all. I don't know how many people that got any kind of money is telling y'all this, but I'm gonna give you all a secret. You know one secret about wealthy people? The reason why they focus on investing their money into experiences is because it helps them increase their social connections. Let me give you an example. Imagine that you had somebody that you wanted to partner with in business. You took them on a nice 1 week trip. Before you went on the trip, you might not have known them that well. After you went on the trip, however, you guys became the best of friends. Experiences increases your relationships. It adds more meaning to your relationship. It helps to build bonds. When you're able to go out and create amazing experiences, the person that shares that with you is that much more in tune with you in your life. That's how you grow. That's the reason why a lot of companies, they'll do things like go on company retreats. They'll have these different workshops and exercises. The reason why they do that is because they know that a lot of productivity comes when you have experience. When you can create greater experiences with people, that's when they're going to uh, do more for you. They want to do more with you. They're more invested into your life. This is the reason why rich people focus on experiences. It's not only of benefit to them, it's for everybody else in their circle. Remember, you are the average of the top 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So you got to make sure that you're creating the right experiences for those 5 people around you. So that way they can elevate while you elevate. If you're elevating and everybody that you're keeping in your circle is staying where they are, eventually that's going to cause conflict. So you want to make sure that you're creating some amazing memories for the people in your circle too. So that way they can grow along with you. Now, obviously, if you're investing in a vacation, that's an amazing experience, but it also helps to reduce a lot of stress. If you're really out here trying to get it, that's going to give you a lot of stress. It's going to take a lot of toll, especially on your mental health. Your experiences help to take away from the day to day hustle and bustle. One thing that experiences does, it gives you experience. It gives you insights that you can share with others. All of it is about building your experience, building your knowledge, building your wisdom. That makes you a more valuable person. But if you take all of your money and you spend it on cars or different gadgets, it doesn't give you the same benefits. Liabilities provide short-term success satisfaction. It's like eating junk food. It feels good for the moment, but you know you're going to be hurting later. It doesn't create long memories. You want to be able to put your money into things that help you grow, not just in your wallet, but also in your heart. So make sure that you start investing in these different experiences that will give you a life of personal fulfillment. The 10th and final thing that rich people do differently from poor people. Y'all want to know what it is? They invest in their health. See, there's a reason why rich people buy organic foods, non GMO. It's not just because they're trying to look fancy. Is because they know that keeps them alive longer. It gives them better health. It gives them a lot more energy. If you're out here eating fast food, loading yourself up with all of this sugar and dairy, you're already sabotaging yourself. You're getting in your own way. Rich people invest in their health because they know they got to go at their day at full tilt. They're investing in the top diet programs, exercising on a regular basis because they got to stay in the game longer than the competition. One of the easiest ways that you can create generational wealth is by outlasting everyone else just by being more energetic. You don't need money to have good energy. You don't need money to take the energy that you have and put it towards something productive. But rich people do invest in their health and put their money towards their energy. That way they could continue to pour into their cup. You can't pour out of an empty cup. Rich people put their money towards their health to make sure they're always operating at 100%. And you know a great example of that? LeBron James. LeBron spends $1 million a year towards his health, exercise program, all of his nutrition. Why? So that he can stay at the top of his game for years to come. LeBron is almost 48 years old, y'all. In a few years, he'll be there. And he's still talking about being in the NBA for the next few years, at least until Bronny gets there, his son. But he can only do that if he stays in great shape. If you're going to be wealthy, you have to move at elite pace. So these are the 10 things that rich people do differently than poor people. If you do these 10 things consistently, you have a very good shot at creating generational wealth. I'm going to recap this for y'all one more time. Rich people have a long term financial plan, they invest their money, they network with other successful people, they take calculated risks, they use their credit wisely, they're always learning. They focus on income generating activities. They have multiple streams of income. They spend money on experiences, not liabilities, and they invest in their health. If you do these 10 things like wealthy people, you will look up one day and Lord willing, you'll be wealthy yourself. That's the key to creating generational wealth. So thank you so much for tapping in to the Generational Wealth Podcast. If you guys got a lot of value from the show, leave me a comment below. Let me know which of the 10 sticks out to you. Which of these 10, after you heard it, do you really say, man, you know what? That's exactly what I'm missing? Maybe you're focused on your health, but are you learning around the clock? Some of y'all are doing a lot of learning and no executing. Now, I ain't gonna say no names, but somebody asked me a little bit earlier, can you show me what rich people do? Because I need to know what poor people is doing and why it's not helping me get ahead. A lot of times, poor people will consume a lot of content, mainly in the form of entertainment, but they don't make any kind of uh, execution. They don't do anything practical with everything that they're learning, everything that they're consuming. For everything that you learn, you got to put it to work, y'all. All right. So just leave a comment and let me know what's going to be one of the steps that you're going to apply based upon the things that rich people do to help you get to the next level. Again, you might think right now, oh, this is just, you know, something that doesn't really matter. But I continue to warn y'all, America is constantly moving to the haves and have nots. There will be no middle class. So either in 5 years from now, you got it or you don't. I don't want to see y'all out on the street. I want to see you applying this and making the most of your life, becoming the best versions of yourself. Shout out to my brother Rodney Lawrence for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of your consistency, man. I appreciate your loyalty to this channel, my brother. You've definitely been in my corner for years, and I don't take that light. Thank you so much for your sponsorship, and I hope that you got a lot of value from tonight's show. You said, when I was growing up, the only thing I knew about money was to earn and spend, never investing. Nobody saves their way to wealth. If you're going to be successful, guys, you got to invest your money. If you're going to create generational wealth, you've got to be an investor. And for any of y'all that want to cam up with me, I'm going to give you all the link. If y'all want to talk about this topic a little bit more in detail, Have a conversation with your boy. Putting a link in the comments below. That way we can learn all the tricks of the trade. Rodney Lawrence says, added value. We are the director of the experience. Absolutely. When you create experiences for people, you give them a lot of value. This is how you become a high value man. This is how you become someone that's always sought after. I continue to tell y'all the key to creating generational wealth is having rare skills that are in high demand. The more rare of a person you are, the more people will seek you out. If you could do the same things that everybody else is doing, you're going to be the first one on a chopping block. But the more that you can do things that not everybody else can do with high value skills, the more that people will give you opportunities, whether they're giving you opportunities to speak, whether they're giving you opportunities for you to consult them. There's going to be so many doors that are going to open just by you having specialized skills. My brother Rodney said, stay away from Popeye's chicken. Hey man, you ain't lying, but sometimes that be hard. Sometimes that two-piece be calling my name, brother. But like I've been saying, this inflation is so high, man. I ain't even tempted to get me a two-piece and a biscuit. I'ma stay at home. I'ma just, make me some chicken at the house. I ain't gonna make it. Ariel gonna make it. But man, I tell you, prices are getting absolutely ridiculous. You damn near gotta be rich just to be able to buy something from Popeyes, as expensive as inflation is getting. One thing that Rodney also said is a lot of times poor minded. That's what we're talking about, y'all. All right. This isn't nobody is better than the other person. Okay. We're not judging each other based upon the money. This is just showing you the steps that people follow to get where they are. Success leaves clues. There are patterns on how rich people get rich. There are patterns on how poor people get poor. Study what rich people do, and then you can have more riches. Study what poor people do, and then you can find yourself into poverty. If you do what they do, you're going to get what they get. It's as simple as that. It's not a dollar amount, it's a mindset. Do you think like a rich or poor person? Yeah, look at what Sis Anaya said. You can't eat out unless you want to spend a minimum $15 on a meal. Oh man, don't even get me to talking, Sis Anaya. I remember the last time I was in LA with my wife, we were out near the airport and we went to McDonald's. We went to get an egg McMuffin for breakfast. Man, when I tell you an egg McMuffin was like 10, $15, I wanted to fall out. Cause I'm like, damn, I could have went back to Texas. Like I could have got me a whole meal. I could have had me an omelet. I could have had me some hash browns. I could have had me a fruit cup. All for that. But I was just on the move, so I'm just getting something quick. But it's just way too expensive, guys. And that's the reason why I keep telling y'all. If you just try to skimp on your money, you're always going to stay poor. And that's what we've been taught to do. We've been taught, don't worry about making more money. Just click coupons, look for the local discount, do all these different things to try to get over. But you can only do but so much if you're not making that much at all, guys. You've got to play offense. Like my brother Rodney said, hyperinflation is real. Hey, I tried to tell him, brother Rodney. I hope they was listening. Listen, y'all, we out. I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's podcast. I definitely want to give a big shout out to everyone that donated. I want to give a special shout out to Sister Tamar with a $10 spot super chat. And I also want to give a shout out to my brother Rodney Lawrence for the $10 super chat. If y'all want to give more donations, all you got to do is tap the dollar icon directly below. I would surely appreciate it, y'all, because I work very hard to give y'all this content. If you get a lot of value from this channel and you want to see me do more shows to educate the community, please donate, 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 donate. Okay. You can donate by clicking the link in the description below. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. We're going to tap in again, Lord willing, this Friday. I do these shows Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Tap in with me on Friday, y'all. Most likely it'll be sometime around maybe 5 or 6 p.m. Central. Y'all know how I do it. Make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notification bell if this is your first time watching this channel. Please, brothers and sisters, share this with other people. Be your brother's keeper. Don't leave this a secret. There's a lot of people that could benefit off of this information, especially during these times. But I want y'all to stay focused. Apply the lessons that y'all learned from tonight's podcast. Shout out to my brother Rick. Shout out to my brother Rick. Good to see you on, King. All right. He said, keep it going. I wish I would have caught it. Just come back and replay this thing, my brother. All right. So I'm out, man. Love y'all. Lord willing, I'll see y'all on the next podcast. Until next time, y'all, keep pushing.